Okay. So
Hello,
welcome
everyone.
back to the weekly dose. I think it's probably about 6 weeks, 16 weeks
Yeah,
since we had a podcast. So yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely time. But we have been busy, so we were kind of putting our energy into other things.
yeah.
But it's lovely to be back.
It is lovely to be back. And the thing that absorbed our energy for 12 of those 16 weeks was the Homeopathic Launchpad that we ran, which was a community for homeopaths who want to launch their practice. And I love, first of all, can I just say, I love that you and I don't push ourselves to do everything. We are the epitome of putting our actions where our our mouth is, like in terms of our clients. You can't do everything. Well, we certainly can't do everything, and we don't try. So hence the reason why the podcast went uh into the closet for a while, and now it's back out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what a 12 weeks. We're going to talk about the launchpad today, whether you like it or not.
So
um
we finished now. We finished about 3 weeks ago, was it?
yeah, I think
Three.
about 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been full on. It's been it's
Oh,
been really, really busy, probably more full on than we thought.
yeah.
Probably because we dived into it more than we thought we were going to dive in as well.
Yeah. I mean, what
Um,
was fascinating was we weren't just telling people you need to do this. We were doing it alongside uh, everybody, which was amazing. So,
yeah,
if we were working on confidence, you and I were working on our confidence as well. So it was intense, wasn't it?
yeah, it was, and especially because I was probably skidding in like 2 minutes after we started every Tuesday night. So I'm making changes. I'm not going to be seeing clients right before the calls this time. Learned my lesson.
We'll see. We'll see.
Let's see, right. Uh,
Oh God.
it was really. It was a really special space, and we haven't actually fully closed the space either.
No.
It's on a little bit of a break at the moment. So the homeopaths who joined us already are in a private group. We're all in a private group together, and we have suspended it for a couple of weeks over the summer just to give everybody a bit of a break from it. But when the new people come in, we tell you the date in a few weeks. People who've already done it, the experts now at this stage, they're going to be there,
Yeah.
and we're going to be bringing a whole new burst of energy in. So everybody who's already in is going to be benefiting again, just like we did with the first one. And that's going to
Yeah.
that's going to keep rolling over too.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm really excited about. And what we talked a lot with the first cohort of people we had in was we want to build a community of like-minded, in the sense of people who want to collaborate and support and cheerlead each other on, and also be sounding boards. Doesn't mean we all are the same in how we practice, or in what we do homeopathically, but that we are there as a team for each other. And that was the one thing we see missing in a lot of the groups we see in a lot of the schools. People finish their training and they go off into the ether, having paid a lot of money, and they don't have that supportive community. People are at different phases. So one of the big things actually that happened with the first cohort was we interviewed them, right? That was
Yeah.
that was fun. Before they ever got let onto the course, we interviewed everyone, and made sure the commitment was there. And we will do that again. There's no way this isn't for everyone. Sure, it's not.
No, no, and we said it before, we didn't want lurky McLurkers. We didn't want people coming in and just taking what they wanted from it without contributing anything to the group. And it's going to be the same the next time. But also it is a big commitment, and we are asking people to really step up and step out of their comfort zone. And that's why we want to interview people and make sure that we all gel. We've a
Yes.
nice little thing started, and what you said, it's about cheerleading each other, but there's no competition. But there's a
No.
tiny bit of competition because we need a little bit of that to keep us going, to motivate us. But it's
Yeah.
not competition as in, oh, look at herself, oh, she's posting again. And, You know,
Yeah,
what are her prices, or why is she doing this? It's not that. This is to really help lift everybody that's in that group. And we're covering the stuff that isn't covered in the colleges, like confidence and money blocks and talking to people, maybe presenting the course and just getting really, really comfortable and owning the fact that you are a homeopath and you have this great skill and helping you
yeah,
get out there and let everybody know about it.
yeah. And I think what was lovely about this training we did in the first cohort was it isn't about launching just on social media. So just because myself and yourself are women who do social media fairly well, um, we had actually a significant number on this course who didn't launch on social media, who launched at a more local grassroots level. And it was inspiring. I mean, that night where we all talked about how everyone was on fire. It was just really inspirational to see these women going out into their local communities and being on the ground, which, by the way, astrologically is actually where a lot of us are being led with life. We want more connection, we want more, so it makes sense that some of people's businesses were going that way rather than just being on social media. So this training is not just for those, it's not just about your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever, Snapchat, whatever the bloody latest thing is. It's about actually being authentically you. So what I loved of the six people now in our group, they all are doing things very uniquely to them. Isn't it
Yeah,
magic to watch it?
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
just and even like we have one person who is doing agri homeopathy, isn't that the right word to,
I think
so
so, yeah.
she's looking at that, which I was like, please teach us. We're all excited to learn from her. We've another homeopath who has a plethora of skills, and she's going to be advertised as, or we've nicknamed her the witch on the edge of the village because she has so much to bring. We've someone else who's working really at a local community sports level. It's just so exciting to see this arrangement of women all doing it differently. And that's why the competition creeps in, didn't it? Where it was like, oh, you've done that. Oh, I have to do something. But not, oh, you've done that. I'm going to take that idea and rob it off you. None
Yeah,
of that. And if we see that, we'll end
yeah,
it. That's
absolutely.
not what it's
Yeah.
about.
That's just to explain to anyone watching this, we set a task at the beginning of the launch pad and we asked people to come up with something, a body of work. I'm not going to go into it, something
No,
that would be theirs and theirs alone for when they finished it. And we mentioned it a few times throughout the 12 weeks and we kept reminding people, we're coming up to the time, we want to know what you have. And then it was on the second last week, everybody presented their ideas, what they were doing. We were buzzing. I never expected the um the variety of ideas and plans and the group gave space for all of those little things to develop over the 12 weeks because I'm sure some of them starting would have thought I would not be able to do that, no way would I be able to do that, but that was an amazing call, that it was
yeah, it
brilliant.
was so powerful, so
Yeah,
powerful. And the other thing, actually, just to highlight, because those six amazing women, this is not just for graduates. It's not just for people who've just come out of college or about to graduate, because we will take people who are in fourth year or in their last year of college, by the way, if this applies to you. But there was a couple of people who had graduated for years. One lady though had moved and she was in a new area, so she wanted accountability in terms of putting herself out into the new area. I mean, it was genius how, and that was just again the magic. Mesh of people we attracted to that group. I was so excited by that. It was homeopathic, is what it was,
yeah, yeah, it really was. And the
wasn't
fact that we mentioned it already, we did a deep dive ourselves on every week
it?
had a
Yeah.
different topic. And we had really a chance to look ourselves at where we were in our own businesses and to make changes. And we've made big changes. I was really only
You,
focused on online stuff before. I am looking at a more local level after talking to all these other amazing homeopaths. You had your own aha moment as well, your light bulb moment with your pricing.
yeah, I
Um
mean, it really hit me. One of the subjects, and again, we're not going to give too much away, but this is listed in the subjects we cover, which is around money and money blocks. And the week we did that, I realized I hadn't put up my pricing in 5 years, and I was hiding behind this idea of keeping myself affordable for my clients. But I was carrying a heavier and heavier burden because in 5 years, most of our materials have gone up hugely. Um, but also, I haven't stopped training since I graduated in 2019. Every single year, I invest in more and more training, and some of it has been huge money. And so I was here going, my prices aren't reflective of that. And it was a really moment for me of like, oh, actually, you're afraid to put up your prices. There's a whole, so I had to work on my own self-worth, my own money blocks. And thankfully, you and I were able to do that together as well. So we're not sitting, I think what's lovely, yes, we're the space holders, and yes, we're obviously, we've put together this program, but we're also showing up as homeopaths and humans.
yeah.
We don't have ourselves on a pedestal. This is an ongoing job for us all to do. But you had your aha moment. I loved yours as well.
And that was around how much time, because and this is one of the reasons why we're going to interview people as well, to see, do people actually have the time to set up a practice? Because that does take a significant amount of hours out of
Yeah.
your week. And some people are still doing full-time jobs, and they're hoping to set up a practice, and for some that's just not doable at all. So we'll be going through that at the interview stage. I realized myself when I worked out, um and this was an exercise I set people. So there's 168 hours in the week. How many hours have you actually got for devoting to your practice? And I realized I was spending 15 hours a week in the car, driving my kids different places. That's 2 days work,
Yeah.
that I was spending in the car. And that really made me go, oh, hang on a second. This is why I'm always chasing my tail on certain days. So changes are being made there as well. And even just to acknowledge it, instead of beating ourselves up the whole time, going, why am I always rushing? Why have I no time to do this? We do need to take a very hard critical look at our lives and see, is there even space for a practice?
Yes.
And if there isn't, there is no point doing something
Yeah.
like this. So
Yeah.
we're very realistic, we're very truthful. We will be honest if we don't think people are suitable or don't have the time,
Yeah.
because we really want, we're thinking about not just people coming onto the course, we're thinking about the people who are already in the group. We want to
Yeah.
bring in more homeopaths who are just bite that bit to get going, who
Yeah.
really want to get their practice going. But if we bring in some people who are like, see how it goes, it's going to bring down the energy of the whole group.
Of course
And
it
at the
is. Yeah.
moment, we've worked really hard in getting that energy high and getting people
Yeah.
motivated.
Yeah. And
Um,
I think as well, just because some people might be hearing that going, oh, but I only want to have a part-time practice. This isn't about how many clients you see or how
yeah,
many days you work. You might choose to work two different blocks of 2 hours, 3 hours in a week. That's still a practice, by the way. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You and I have full-time practices, but actually, when we discussed it, I take 3 day weekends every week, and I won't apologize for that. Thank you very much,
yeah.
Lee. I quite enjoy that. But I worked very long days the other days. So actually, if you broke it out, I probably work a 5 day week. So it's really interesting. So people need to be aware of, a practice is still a practice, whether you have 20 clients, 10 clients, or two clients. It's the consistency of showing up every week. And if you need support with that, then we're here for that. Oh, I'm so excited. So yes, so the big thing is what's happening next. And we decided, because so many people are like, oh, come on, we want to do this. So we're going again in
few weeks actually.
2 weeks.
No, a few weeks. A few weeks. We are launching the Launchpad on Saturday, the 10th of October, and we'll be getting going with week one, the first week of training on Tuesday, the 13th of October, and it's going to be 11 weeks, 11 Tuesdays. So we'll open the circle, open the group on Saturday, the 10th of October, and then heads down, and we're finishing 2 weeks before Christmas, is
two
it?
weeks before Christmas, yeah. So
So
the commitment is that everyone has to show up every Tuesday night at 7:30. Now the meetings are recorded, so obviously sometimes life can get in the way, but we are looking for that there's a commitment to be there. We'll say more often than not, with the odd exception. And the commitment that there is work outside of those Tuesday nights. Your set tasks. You have tasks with the team. You have tasks individually, and there's a Facebook group, and there's things happening in that every week. This is not. Oh yeah, I'll sign up for that. I'm sure I can follow it later on. No, don't. You won't be let do that. So you need to be showing up consistently for those 11 weeks, and we will be cracking the the feather whip. I don't want to sound too harsh. It'll be like a little gent, and that's what we're there. We're there to keep the energy going, keep people going. And amazingly, we'll have the first cohort also in the Facebook group to uh, cheer everyone on as well. They will not be on the live calls, however. But yeah, so we're super excited about that. Um, yeah. So if you are interested, please get in touch. If you, we're going to be asking our last cohort to please share it with anybody there they know as well. Um, yeah. Anything else, Santo?
if anybody is looking at this going, oh, that sounds really good, but it sounds very, very scary, I just want to tell you how far the first cohort have come. Coming in, wanting, like they came in with a desire to build a practice, and whatever that looked like, to go from that to actually having solid things in place. Like it's been huge. It's been transformational, and
Yeah.
we're really, really proud of them.
Yeah.
You're not going to be asked to do anything you're very, very uncomfortable with because
No, no,
that's
no, no,
that's not going to happen. But we
no.
are asking people, if you want to build a business, why do you want to build a business? And are you going to take these steps to get out there? And a lot of it is really just getting out of your own way, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
leaving behind the inherited blocks that we have that are holding us back and making us think, I'm not actually good enough. I need to do another course before I go and
Yeah.
launch now, or what are the neighbors going to be saying, or what are my friends going to be saying? All of this stuff
Yeah.
that really it gets in deep. It's like tentacles, and it just pulls us down. And we have an amazing medicine. We have bloody brilliant skills that we have spent years studying, and a lot of money, and we need to get out there. People need us, and we need to get these homeopaths out into the world.
We learned from our current course. It's not just neighbours and friends saying it. Some people have other homeopaths going, "Oh, how are you doing that?" It's like, well,
Yeah,
how are you going to have a business if you don't put yourself out there in some way? But as you said, I remember the first night and all the women on the first opening call, and we asked people to introduce themselves. And do you remember the
yeah,
nervous energy of that?
yeah.
To the end, it was almost like, okay, well, one of you shut up. So, it's like the chatting and, so to paraphrase that old, thing of feel the fear and do it anyway, but we'll help you with the do it
Yeah.
anyway. And we'll help you to feel the fear as well.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not just us who'll be helping, it's the other
Yeah.
homeopaths in there because this
Yeah.
is, the idea behind having your own community is that you have your own A team, your own people that you can check in with once a week or whatever and
Yeah.
support each other. Something's not going great. You have somebody to bounce ideas off and even somebody to go in and put a like on a post that you've just put up. You
Yeah.
know, things like that
Yeah.
can be absolutely huge. So if we will be posting details over the next few weeks, more details.
Yeah.
And if anybody is interested in, I suppose, in reaching out to us now and even leaving your name with us, there is no commitment. There's no obligation at this stage. We can set up an interview in a few weeks' time
Yeah,
and have a chat and see where people are at.
brilliant. Okay,
Okay,
that's it.
cool.
We'll leave it
All
there.
right.
See you
Bye.
soon.